The US equity market is trading mixed today. The US dollar is consolidating gains. Its index is trading at a 2-month high. The US dollar versus the Canadian dollar pair is carrying on with its climb. While futures on the US benchmark stock indices are trading mixed, investors await a weekly update on the US labor market and a report on new home sales. Futures on the Dow Jones edged up 0.13%. Likewise, futures on the S&P 500 rose 0.11%. At the same time, the Nasdaq shed 0.11%. As usual on Thursdays, investors monitor changes in the U.S. labor market. In the American pre-market, the U.S. Labor Department is due to release a weekly report on initial unemployment claims. The data showed an unexpected uptick in first-time claims for unemployment benefits last week, whereas analysts had expected a lower figure. On Wednesday, Federal Reserve policymakers called on the U.S. government to provide more fiscal support to the domestic economy. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell and his colleagues stated that Congress and the White House have more power to boost the economic recovery. The infection rates in the U.S. declined in mid-July, but the resurgence of the confirmed cases has been recorded since mid-September, thus arousing fears among investors. It is still unclear when exactly the vaccine will be available nationwide. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the top U.S. virus expert, calls on Americans to wait for the outcome of the third trials of a few experimental vaccines, which are expected to be available for the public by November or December this year. The U.S. dollar index inched up 0.09% to trade at 94.47. The greenback is trading firmly at near a 2-month high amid growing concerns over the resilience of an economic recovery in the US and Europe. Investors stoke fears about a second coronavirus wave. Appetite for riskier assets soured after data on Wednesday showed US business activity slowed in September. Optimism on the recovery, optimism on the virus, and bets on stimulus were keeping markets well bid, and on all three of these issues, there has been a degree of disappointment this month, end of quote, said John Vellis, a strategist at BNY Mellon. The dollar versus the loonie pair is trading higher at 1.3370 on the back of a steady advance of the greenback. Investors are reluctant to buy riskier assets for the obvious reason: political uncertainty. The fierce presidential race in the US triggered volatility across financial markets. Yesterday, Donald Trump said that he would not commit to providing a peaceful transition of power after Election Day in November. Investors are braced for the roller coaster in markets, as the first debates between Donald Trump and Joe Biden are slated for September 29th. That's all for now. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.